Welcome back to Just Scribble. If you guys have been around my channel or seen any of my unboxings or flip throughs of my Take a Note planner, you guys know that I really love this planner. There is just something about the aesthetics of this planner, the clean lines and clean presentation. Everything about this planner I just absolutely love. Like, I love the monthlies and how they look and how functional they are. I love the font. I love the 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. I love the binding. So let me take it out and show you guys. I love the binding. There it has like an exposed stitch binding, so no matter where you open it, it lays flat. It's just awesome. I really love this planner. However, in January I was promoted to a new position at work, and this planner is really not working for me for work. And as much as I try to make this work, it's just not a good fit. I'm just really too busy at work with too many different areas of focus and areas of responsibility, too many meetings at work to use this layout. And it makes me really sad because I really love this planner, and I also really don't like changing planners very much. I'm usually really good at knowing what I need in a planner and what layout in a planner works for me, and I don't generally change my planner up during the year. But I am a firm believer that you should most definitely change out your planner if it's not working for you, and so that's what I'm doing. But I wanted to talk to you guys about why this wasn't working for me, going back over what I was using and how I had this set up. I do have a video on that, so I'll link that up above. And then talk to you about the process I went through in finding what I think is going to work as my work planner. So first we will talk about what I was using. So I was using the Take a Note planner. This planner is a very simple, clean layout planner, and I do have videos on it, so I'm not going to walk through everything in detail. My husband and my kiddo just called and now I lost my train of thought. So it has monthlies up front that are nice and clean. I love the fact that the color for the days of the week for your work week are gray and the weekend are brown. It just helps me use this more functionally because really generally I only care about the work days and I don't care about the weekend days. And so it's just easy for me to look visually and see that this is the work week and this is the weekend. And it has lots of functional space around it that I can use for notes. I'm not going to show you other months that have passed because they do have some work information that I can't share, but you have this really large sidebar on the side that you can use to write, and it's sort of divided by the weeks. You have a nice section at the bottom, you have a section here, and if you didn't cover this with stickers like I did, you actually have a column over here divided by the weeks as well so that you could write over there. So there's lots of functional space on the monthlies. I really love the monthlies in this planner. They just give me all of the vibes. I just absolutely love them. And then your week is a week on 4 pages. So you have a weekly overview here. You have a half a page per day. So Monday through Wednesday there, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And last year I used this weekly overview to see my week at a glance. And then I did time tracking here so that I could see my day with all of my meetings and everything. I put my priorities at the top, notes and to-dos and task lists and things at the bottom of each day. And then I repurposed the Saturday and Sunday, and that was a notes page. And that's generally how I've been using it this year as well, except for that instead of using this for an overview of my week, because it was so duplicative since it was already in the timed section here, I was using this for my task list for the week, and then priorities, notes down here, the time tracking there for my day so I could see my day, and then notes on this page. And it's just not working. And there's a few reasons why it's not working. One is it's really not enough space. There's no daily pages in this planner. There is literally only like 4 grid pages in the back. And so in order to have daily pages, I have to pair it with another notebook. And I did have a Wonderland 222 full year notebook over here that I was using, but I was using this more for commonplace type notes and meeting notes than I was for daily pages. And I could actually have used this for daily pages, but I was struggling with flipping back and forth and them being in two different notebooks. In my personal planners, that doesn't really bother me to have a separate sort of commonplace notebook or a separate journal notebook. But in my work planner, especially when I'm sitting in a meeting, having my weekly spread here and then having to flip to my daily pages in two separate notebooks was a lot. It also was quite chunky because you had, you know, your full planner here and then you had your full daily pages here. And because this planner is a week on 4 pages, it's thicker combined than you'd get like with a Hobonichi cousin or something like that, where you had months, weeks, and days. So one of the issues that I ran into is that I really didn't like the fact that I didn't have some sort of daily page or blank page in this one notebook that I could use for dailies when my day ran over, and I just didn't have enough space. The other problem that I had is I really need my week on one page at work. In my old position, it was okay that I had a half a page and then I flipped the page to see the rest of my week. But just the way that my schedule works and all the things that I have going on, it's really just better for me to see my entire week like this at a glance. And so it would be better if I had my week on 2 pages and I could easily flip from my week to my month and then flip to whatever daily or commonplace page that I had. I do have a digital calendar at work and it is up on my computer, but it's, you know, in Outlook. And so I'm usually on email view, not my calendar view. I don't keep my calendar view up there. And it just really helps me to be able to see my week and all of my tasks, everything on 2 pages instead of having to flip back and forth. This didn't bother me before and this wasn't an issue before. And I actually really liked it in the past. It's just that my job now and everything I have going on, it's just a lot easier. And so I realized that I do need the monthlies because I use these a lot in meetings when we're scheduling things and talking about the future and planning things out. I do need a weekly because it just helps me keep everything straight, and it also helps me keep all of my tasks and deadlines for the week in one place, and it helps me see when I have meetings and when I'm going to have availability to do other work. And so I do need a weekly spread, but I do also need some sort of daily page or grid page or something like that, and I really want it in one place instead of flipping back and forth between 2 books. It just made it really hard to keep track in 2 books. So as much as I really love this planner, and I actually really loved it last year and it worked great for me, I just really needed something different. So I decided that I would try to figure out something different. And so I literally spent 2 evenings one weekend binging like every work planner and planner video that I could think of or find to try to figure out a better option. I thought about all sorts of things. I made notes on different planners. I thought about using an Erin Condren, which I have used in the past, and using an Erin Condren. I thought about buying an Erin Condren, the regular planner with the month and the week, and then buying their like daily duo, I think that's what it's called, daily pages, and re-spiraling them and making quarterly books where I had my month, my weeks, and my days all in one spiral bound planner. I thought about going back to a disc bound planner, but I really don't want a disc bound planner for work. Although I have used one in the past and it did work. They're really hard to store. They're very bulky and I would really prefer something different. So I decided that a disc bound was out. I decided that that Erin Condren, as much as I really liked the paper, I really didn't think that was the right fit either. I even looked at Staples and Office Max or Depot, whatever it's called now, and Target, and I went through just normal planners that you can buy anywhere because those are awesome and they work too. The problem was I could get the monthly and the weekly in the planner, but then I'd still have to have a separate notebook for my sort of daily pages and commonplace pages. So I decided that that was out. Then I thought, well, maybe the problem is that because I can't see my week on 2 pages here, maybe the problem is less that it's in 2 books and more that it's chunky and that I don't have that weekly view, because that is one of the bigger aspects of why this isn't working. So I decided I would even test out the weekly essential from Aura Still. I thought, well, maybe I don't need a vertical plan for my week. maybe instead I could use a horizontal weekly, and then I could have a page for notes, a section for to-dos, and I could see my day at a glance. I tested this the week of St. Patrick's Day. I set this up and it was terrible. I didn't even make it through like the first day, and I already knew this wasn't going to work. So I trashed that, and I've actually been using this for like scratch notes and some other meeting notes just because the paper is nice and it's really thin and light. So I scratched that. So then I thought, okay, well, I do have a full year common planner that's undated in A5 size, which is the size this is, which is the size my cover is, so it would fit in here. And maybe I could use that because it seems like that has all of the aspects. I have the monthlies in it. It has the week on 2 pages in it that's vertically time blocked so that I can block my time. And then it has a page for every single day of the year that I can use for dailies and commonplace. So like at work, I have things that I have to refer back to a lot, or project notes and things like that. And so I could put all of those in the daily pages. So I thought, well, maybe that would work. But I hadn't gotten that yet, and I wanted to test it out. And also I was really struggling. I needed a planner at work. I needed a written planner, and this wasn't working. So I couldn't even get myself in this to use it because it was really not working for me and it was frustrating me. And so I literally took this home and left it at my house. And then I tried the RSTEL and I brought that into the office, and that didn't work. Then I just got a spiral notebook out and that worked okay, but then I didn't have my weekly, and it's just been a mess. But I remembered that I had a Hobonichi cousin from last year that I had bought that I didn't use. I'm not really a fan of Hobonichi, and I have tried, and I did buy it in 2022 to see if it would work again and try it. And I had actually made notes for myself on reasons why it didn't work for me and what I didn't like about it, and I did some test spreads. Anyways, so I had this planner, it's the Avec, and I decided that I would pull it out and find a week where the dates matched but the month didn't match, because obviously it was last year. And I decided I would test this because the Hobonichi cousin and the common planner are extremely similar layouts, but the common planner fixes the things that I don't like about the Hobonichi cousin. So one of the things I don't like about the Hobonichi cousin is I don't like the color. It bothers me. It draws my eye to areas that I don't need to see, and it distracts me, and it makes it busy, and it just kind of gives me a headache. I don't like the color, so that's one of the things. I don't like how dark the print and the grid is. Same reason. It distracts me, and it's just too heavy, and it just kind of hurts my brain. The weeklies are fine. There's the little bit of color, but it's not a big deal. But I really don't need the Saturday and Sunday for work. And so if this wasn't here, that would be better, which an undated planner kind of fixes that because there's no dates. So these are already kind of blank. I don't really need this month here. I'd rather use that for functional space, and the undated planners don't have that. So that's another win. And I don't need dated daily pages. I do need to date them sometimes, but sometimes they need to be for projects and for commonplace. And so I don't need dated daily pages. And so it's kind of a waste. And I don't like redating them because the only ones that I would be redating are company holidays or weekends. And that doesn't necessarily fit with when I needed to use them. So if I was working through my week and then I needed to insert a project page, it may not be in the right place in the book. I may have to skip and find a holiday page or a weekend page to use for that. And so it would be messy and not in a good order. And I'd have to be covering up the dates, which isn't like a big deal, but it is just one more thing that I have to do. And then the other reason that I don't like the cousin, a ton of wasted space. You lose like 3 centimeters of space down here, like over an inch of space down here that you could be using for functional space. And so most of the time people put stickers here, they put washi here, and they cover this up, or they leave it there because they like the quotes. I don't like the quotes. I want the full grid page. And so I know that the cousin isn't the right fit, but the common planner fixes all of these things. The pages aren't dated. There's no color. It's a really light font and a really light grid. There's no quotes. Everything is sort of expanded, so it has the most functional space. The timeline is not in military time, which just saves me a little bit of thought every day as I'm scheduling out my day. Because it's an undated planner, I don't have to cover up the Saturday and Sunday on the weeklies. I can just date Monday through Friday. So I thought it was going to be a good fit. But I wanted to test it. And so I pulled out this outdated one and repurposed it and tested it and used it. And I didn't set up the monthlies because it just kind of seemed like a pain. I didn't really need it for just a couple weeks of test. But I did use the weeklies. I can't show you everything on it, but I can flip like super quickly through my weeks. So I did these 3 weeks and then I did daily. It took me a little bit to get into the groove, but as you can see, I did use it and I had a lot going on. And so I definitely think that the Common Planner is going to work. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have a video on the undated Common Planner because I did get them. And so I'm unboxing it and sharing it and comparing it and all of the things. And I think that video might go up before this one and then this one will go up. But anyways, I'm going to date that A5 undated Common Planner and I'm going to set it up for work. And once I have that set up, I will do a little flip through with you guys and show you guys how I've had it set up and how I'm using it. And that's what I'm going to use for now. I do think it's going to work because testing it in this, which isn't the perfect fit, and that kind of fixes the issues that I have with the Hobonichi cousin. I do think that it's going to work because this was working. It's still a little bit of an adjustment because it's different than what I've been doing the last couple of years for my work planner. But then again, my job is different. So I needed to change something, had to change. So that's what I'm going to do. I already had it ordered because I ordered it in case I wanted it and to check it out and to share it with you guys. And so I already had it on the way. So it kind of seemed perfect. It arrived in time so that I will start it the first week of the second quarter. And so the timing kind of works perfectly to start it in a new quarter, start using it in a new quarter. I am going to date it all the way from the beginning of the year through the end of the year and make it a calendar year planner. And I'm actually going to go back in and backdate everything out of the Take a Note planner and everything out of the Hobonichi that I've been using the last couple of weeks. That way I have everything in one place and anything that needs to be in my commonplace is in there and I have like a complete book. And that's what I'm going to use. And if it doesn't work, then I will switch to something else. But that's my plan. But I just wanted to talk with you guys about why I was making a work planner switch and what my thoughts were, what my issues were, and what I was doing. And so as soon as I have that set up, we will do a little flip through and I will share it with you guys. But if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will definitely get back with you. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up if you liked this share of my work planner change and my work planner woes. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.